Welcome to the Cohn phone. I'm going to be here for the next hour or two. My wife's working in the other room, which means I got all day. She's working, I'm working. And I'll be taking your calls. First, I want to talk about what's on my mind, as I usually do. Looking big picture, just from the organization's standpoint, like what are they doing? What are they setting up for this year? What is the mission? What is the 49ers mission statement this year? I don't think they have one. I think the 49ers need to make a statement. They haven't made a statement. No one knows what's going on with this team. You ask any new free agent who the quarterback is, they don't know. I don't know. I just work here. I just play defense. I just got here. Don't ask me that question. No one knows who the quarterback. The Niners need to make a statement. If you're actually in it to win it this year, you say, here's our quarterback. Here's what we're doing. We're looking forward. We're all about surrounding our quarterback with confidence and the best team possible, but they're not doing that. In fact, what this year is all about is the Jimmy Garoppolo non-trade. I mean, all the headlines, the entire storyline this year is, have they traded Jimmy yet? What's up with Jimmy? Is Jimmy still on the team? Why is Jimmy still on the team? Whose fault is it that Jimmy's still on the team? Are they going to move him next week? Are they going to move him? Are they going to hold on to him until training camp? Are they going to have a quarterback competition? Is Jimmy going to be the starter? Is Jimmy? What about Jimmy? What about Jimmy? Well, how about enough? And this is their fault. Jimmy should not be dominating everything. He's the past, right? Right? Tell us. Your own free agents don't know who your quarterback is. That's a terrible way to start the season. You never did this to Jimmy Garoppolo. Kyle, John, Jed. You always put your full confidence behind Jimmy. And what are you saying with Trey? Oh, well, he only has 2 starts. We need more data. You traded for Jimmy Garoppolo when he had 2 starts. He started 2 games in New England. You were like, that's our starting quarterback right there. You traded for him. You made him your starter. 5 games later, after 7 career starts, you're like, we've seen enough. 5-year extension, or was it a 6-year extension? Let's make him the highest paid player in football and give him a no trade clause. That's how sold you are. I mean, you took a giant leap of faith on Jimmy Garoppolo. It didn't work out. You knew his skill set was mediocre as hell. But you like, his marketability, his professionalism. You like those 7 games. He's our starter. He's our franchise guy. You never brought in competition for him until the very end, until last year. And even then, you didn't make Jimmy compete for his job. You bent over backwards all year to make sure that he felt secure and confident as the starter. It's Jimmy's job. It's Jimmy's team. It's Jimmy's team. No quarterback competition. No quarterback. No, Trey's years away. Trey's not even ready. Trey? That's a backup quarterback. We traded 3 first-round picks for a backup quarterback. That's how you talked all last year, because God forbid you damage Jimmy Garoppolo's confidence 1 iota. God forbid. You always pump this dude up. And from the players to the coaches, Jimmy's the greatest. We love Jimmy. Why would anyone question how we feel about Jimmy? Jimmy's a franchise quarterback. You won't say anything about Trey Lance. You haven't demonstrated one piece of confidence, one bit of confidence towards Lance. So you need to. You need to make a statement. And like whispering to Jeremy Fowler saying that he heard that the Niners are telling Trey Lance behind the scenes that he's a starter, that's not good enough. I don't want to hear it off the record from Jeremy Fowler. Either John Lynch, Jed York, or Kyle Shanahan comes out and says Trey Lance is our starting quarterback. That's not even good enough. I don't want to hear you say it. The statement you make is you cut Jimmy Garoppolo now. That tells us that Trey Lance is the starter. Because as long as Jimmy's on the roster, I have a hard time believing that the Niners are going to keep a $27 million backup. I just don't see it. As long as he's here, the speculation is going to be, well, the Niners don't believe in Trey. Well, Jimmy's going to be the starter. A quarterback competition would be a waste of both quarterbacks' times. You traded for Trey. You gave him a year to season and marinate. It's his time. Show some confidence. Cut Jimmy now. Let everyone know you believe in Trey. Wow, that would go a long way in your locker room, in your fan base. We believe in Trey. And then how do you show you believe in Trey? Get some players that help him now in free agency while they're still available. Do that now. Like, for example, what have they done in free agency to help Trey Lance? What? They got Ray McLeod. Hey, Ray's great, right? He's a gadget player. That's a Jimmy player. He catches all his stuff at the line of scrimmage. He's for quarterbacks who can't throw downfield. It just adds more fuel to the speculation that Jimmy might be starting this year. Ray, how does that help Trey? Trey doesn't need another check down option. Trey needs a deep threat. Where is that guy? Where's the dude who runs 4-3 on this team? Where's the wide receiver who runs 4-3? There isn't one. Until the Niners actually get a wide receiver that can get the hell down the field, I'm questioning their commitment to Trey. They keep bringing in gadget players. They need to make a statement. This offseason couldn't be any worse. I went out with my friend last night. Knows nothing about football. His fiance knows nothing. She's from Albany, New York. She's like, hey, Grant, is that dude still on the team? Is that dude still on the team? That's the whole storyline with this franchise. Can't happen. Where's the leadership? Where's the direction? Someone step up and say, this is what we're about this year. Because right now what they're about is this stupid Jimmy Garoppolo story. Oh, well, it's not our fault that we didn't trade him yet. It's his fault. Well, if he hadn't, who cares? Cut him. Cut him right now. Show confidence in Trey. You don't think he needs that? Jimmy needed it, right? Jimmy needed it constantly. We love Jimmy. Jimmy's great. He's a better person than he's a player. Jimmy, what about Trey? He's 21. He gets drafted into this team, and all he hears is, oh, dude, we can't really talk about I don't know. You messed up the offensive line. You didn't re-sign Laken Tomlinson so you could keep Jimmy. It's like, what does Trey Lance need? Does he need Jimmy Garoppolo and his $27 million breathing down his neck, or a better offensive line? Or Laken Tomlinson? Or Tom Compton? No, let's just downgrade the offensive line and keep Jimmy, and that'll help Trey. And we'll bring in Ray McLeod. Boom. Do better. Make a statement. Say what this season is about, because right now it's all about this drama. That's a circus that you created and could end at any freaking time. You could end it right now. He's cut. Your fan base would give you a standing ovation. Oh my God, they cut Jimmy Garoppolo. It would be the most popular move you've ever done. What are you waiting for? I think Trey Lance would appreciate it. I think the locker room would appreciate just some direction. At least last year, everyone knew, hey, we say this is Jimmy's team. If they ask us, we say, hey, as far as I know, Jimmy Garoppolo's team. That's what they told us. It was Jimmy Garoppolo's. Now it's like, oh my God. What is that? Silly. What other team in the NFL that's supposed to be a contender won't say who their quarterback is? Tell me. Who does that? I'm tripping right now. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. All right, let's take calls. Boom in the description. And then boom in the what? Boom. There you go. Let's do it. It felt good to get that out. Hold on. Did it not go through? In the description for sure. There it is. Kyle is not a leader. He's too scared to fail, so he will fail. Yeah, someone be a leader here. Someone say, this is what we're doing this season. This is what we're all about. They won't do it. Rod, hold on. Let me get the little banner up. You're first. Cohn phone. What's up, Rod?
What's going on, Grant?
You're not driving, are you?
Nah, man, I'm parked. I know the rules.
Hey, nice to meet you, man. How you doing?
Pretty good, bro. Look, man, everything that you're saying, boy, you're right on point, man. I feel like, you remember the sitcom I Dream of Jeannie?
Yeah.
Every time you look up, Jeannie got him in some more trouble.
Yep.
And next thing you know, it looks like Major Nelson is once again about to get kicked out, and at the last minute, Debo Samuel is the guy that's been saving Kyle.
Yep.
And I mean, it's like, man, I don't get it, but for whatever reason, man, these guys just love the fiascos. They like to be the live of the party. But I mean, it's like you said, man, let's get the fan base together. You say you want to change the culture. That was what Jed York said. But you're doing things that don't make sense. It's like you make the investment of trading away the future.
Yep.
3 first-round picks in the third.
That's
Just
bold.
to constantly disrespect this guy.
Yeah,
I
like,
don't get it.
I don't get it. What other team does that? Oh, bold move. Actually, we're way too scared to even give him a chance.
Yeah.
So why'd you trade him? Why'd you trade for him?
Exactly. And I mean, to be honest with you, Grant, the reason why I know it's a bunch of bull jive is because I remember, for a lot of these fans that criticize you don't remember, you got to see the guy throw the ball in practice.
Yep.
So it's like, it's not like the guy just totally sucks.
No.
Anything that doesn't totally sucks could be started over Jimmy.
He completed over 65% of his passes in training camp. And people act like he's so inaccurate. I mean, he's pretty accurate. He can throw the ball down the field. He makes good decisions, doesn't commit a lot of turnovers. I don't know. I don't understand how Jimmy Garoppolo got all this praise, for his 11 interceptions in camp, and Trey Lance just got picked apart for God knows what, for like move the ball periods. Like, man, you're really nitpicking here, man.
I said a comment on one of your segments this past week, man. I honestly do believe that John Lynch will sit there to set the tone of the locker room. I mean, you just think about a lot of the guys who's leaked information from an unknown source. We'll use Terrell Owens' name, for example. Terrell is a cancer. Okay, well, who's reporting this? I think John Lynch's whole sole purpose was to go and get that locker room in check, because when Tom Sula and Chip Kelly left, it was pretty much a mess. So, I think that the locker room's effort to actually all stand behind Jimmy is just to support that idea that John Lynch said, look, we just going to continue to be supportive of this guy because he's a good guy. But other than that,
like, what are the marching orders this year? Like, no one on the team knows what to say right now. They're like,
which is why I say John Lynch would be Dr. Bellows on I Dream of Jeannie. He's the guy that I got him now. And he pulled the wool over his eyes. Once again, Jeannie done blinked it away. So I don't know, man. But it's a good question. I mean, I'm glad that you're keeping the topic a hot item, because, when it's all said and done, if we don't win because of quarterback play, the only one they're going to be able to blame is the guys who selected this guy, the guys who didn't develop this guy, and the guys who didn't allow this guy to play.
Yeah, man, the Niners are doing a whole lot of nothing. They won't even tell us what the vision is for the season. There's so many people being like, hey, man, they got to play and trust it. Like, word?
But what's
could
the
you give us something? Could you tell us something? Because even your players don't. When the players don't know who the quarterback is, that's bad. If you intend to make the Super Bowl, I'm just saying that should be the plan. I
agree. I agree, man. But anyway, it's been a good one, man.
Good to see you. Nice to meet you, kid. Bro. Have a good one, Rod.
You too.
Peace. Cody, what's up? How dare you wear that hat around me after beating my Bruins the other day? Who was that kid that hit all the shots on your team? Who was that guy? And why couldn't we defend him?
Love.
He's good. He's quite good. Anyway, congrats, I guess.
Thanks. A question. Did you see the reports about the Jets being interested in Debo?
No. Tell me. Show me. What are you talking about? Where's this? Who said that? Jets.
ESPN said the Jets are eyeing DJ Metcalf, AJ Brown, and Debo Samuel.
Oh, snap.
Eyeing potential trade.
Keeping an eye on DK Metcalf. Oh, wow. This came out today. Okay, let's read it. The New York Jets missed out on Tyreek Hill, but that doesn't mean they won't try to upgrade the wide receiver position this offseason. According to ESPN's Rich Samini, the Jets are keeping an eye on the situations of the Seahawks, DK Metcalf, Titans, AJ Brown, and the Niners, Debo Samuel. Samini added that at this point, there's no indication that any of them are available. Okay, that's the report. Interesting. Doesn't mean that things are going bad with Debo Samuel and the Niners in negotiations. This kind of sounds like the Jets are desperate, and they're hoping that one of those three guys will not get an extension and things are a little sour in the negotiations. Or they know something we don't know, and things are getting a little weird with what do you think?
I think that he'll get extended and be fine. That's
been the Niners. The only time they didn't extend someone was DeForest Buckner, right?
Yeah.
Every other time they got crushed for it, and they didn't draft that guy.
I
have a feeling they're going to give him the money.
Yeah, I agree.
That being said, they just signed another gadget player, wide back, and Ray McLeod, but you can't. He's not as good. He's not as good. No. If they traded Debo Samuel, Niner fans would flip out.
I'd throw my Debo jersey.
Yeah, I don't think Niner fans would be happy with that one.
No.
So, I mean, it's very interesting though. It seems like there's been whispers, but from no one credible that like this is not going. You keep seeing on Twitter like, oh, it's not going great, but it's someone that's not credible. But it seems like what's going on is whatever the Niners wanted to give them, the price tag keeps going up for wide receivers, just because like all these irresponsible contracts have been given out. Maybe the Niners feel like there's no way we're going to give this guy $31 million a year. Maybe
I think he'll get extended eventually, and all will be fine.
I'll be fine. I think so too. But it's an interesting report. Thanks for bringing it to my attention.
Have a good day.
All right, take care. What's up, Serge, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great, Grant. How are you today, man? You know, I'm a little under the weather, but I'm alive.
A little under the weather? Okay.
Yeah,
sorry to hear it.
Nah, that's fine, brother. But Grant, I have to ask you a very important question that's been on my mind.
Okay.
I forgot the other reporter that I was watching, but he was interviewing Steve Young's old agent. And Steve Young
Steinberg.
said, what was his name?
Lee Steinberg.
Lee Steinberg. There you go. So
yeah.
That I respected all that man's words, man. That guy seemed like a good agent, and he mentioned how he represented John Lynch, and how he asked him about like how good is like John Lynch's like word about like, you know, doing Jimmy right and sending him to a winning team or working with Don Yee and whatnot. And like, I want to ask you, like, from your experience and expertise, like, is this real? Like, if John Lynch traded Jimmy G tomorrow to the Redskins, or I don't know, that's a bad team, just a terrible team, a terrible franchise, and Jimmy G didn't like it and Don Yee didn't like it, would that be a big deal? Like, does that make other players not want to come to San Francisco just because he would do something like that? Like, genuinely.
Perhaps. I mean, maybe they feel like Jimmy Garoppolo is so respected around the league that if you cross him, that you'll cross multiple players, or you'll be looked at as a bad organization. But I think what's really going on here is that even though Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't have a no trade clause, he can kind of veto these trades. Because think about it. If you were a team that was interested in trading for Jimmy Garoppolo, he's 1 year left on his deal. You're giving up a draft pick. No one's going to give up a draft pick for 1 year of Jimmy.
Yeah.
If you liked him, you'd be like, all right, we got to sign an extension, right? And because you're too expensive anyway, we need you for 2-3. We need you to commit. And if he doesn't want to go there, he'll be like, no, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to sign an extension with you. And like, maybe that's probably what happened with Washington. If the Niners had something in line with Washington, then Washington calls Jimmy and they're like, all right, so we're interested, but we need you to sign an extension. He's like, oh yeah, no.
See, and I forgot about that. I forget about the fact that he has 1 year left on his contract, even though the money's not guaranteed. And it's like, at this point, it's like you said, it would make a statement if they cut him tomorrow. They would be saying, "But we don't care about the $7 million injury guarantee. We don't
care about the comp pick we get next year. We want to freaking win right now." That would be so cool.
They traded the 2 first-round picks, obviously the 3, but I like to count it as 2, and the comp pick. Like, in reality, like, it's a huge investment in Trey, but at the same time, we didn't even give up a whole lot. But at the same time, you have to treat him as if he was your first-round pick this year, as if he was that next step to take us further. And like you say, they're just not showing us that. And the fact that no player wants to answer the questions, and I don't know if Kittle's holding out hope that Jimmy G probably does stay. I don't know. It's all very confusing, Grant. But I appreciate you for keeping it in the forefront, man.
Great call. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
You know, real quick, before I move on, the report about Debo is interesting to me because what it tells me is no one knows what's going on between Debo and the Niners. No one knows. But it seems like people around the league expect it to go bad. Why? Right? Like Robert Saleh knows the Niners very well. What does he know? Why do the Jets expect that something might possibly go down? That's interesting to me. Doesn't mean it is. But Robert Saleh's like, hey, yo, wait on Debo. I'm just saying, I know Debo, I know Kyle, I know Parag. I'm just saying, wait. Funny things happen. Isn't that kind of seem like everyone seems to be expecting something to go sideways with the Niners and Debo? Saying, why? Is there something about Debo I don't know? He's going to be very expensive. He's going to be getting like twice what Kittle got. Just saying. Parag is notorious for drawing a line. He drew a line on Trent Williams. I was going to say, Trent Williams, thanks, but no thanks. Kyle had to call in and be like, don't you freaking dare. Can he do that again with Debo? Would he? Should he? Just saying. Papa Dragon, what's up? Oh man, you're muted. You're muted. Muted.
Am I muted
There you
now?
go. There you go. There you go.
So, I think the biggest problem that the 49ers have is Parag.
Are you
honestly.
spelunking?
Spelunking what? No, I'm doing this.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's all random. All right, sorry. I'll keep going.
No, I think the biggest problem they have is Parag.
Okay.
I mean, I think in the past they've given the bag to a bunch of players that didn't work out.
Yeah.
McKinnon, Richmond. They're still dealing with D Ford. That's what I'm pissed off about D Ford.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
I can rush the passer as good as D Ford can. At least one play. Just give me one.
You can also occupy the training room as well as he's the vet of the training room, yeah.
I was trying to really temper 49er fans by trying to explain to them that Jimmy G can't pass the physical. You're not going to trade for a guy who can't pass a physical with that contract.
No.
It's not going to happen.
No.
So, do you cut him? Well,
yes.
Do you see Parag cutting him?
No, absolutely not.
Again,
no.
Parag's problem.
Right.
Now, what was our big free agent signing last year?
Samson Ebukam? Am I tripping?
Yep.
Samson Ebukam.
Samson was
big.
But really a big one?
No, absolutely not.
I'm saying, so I think right now what's happening is the Yorks have been just notoriously frugal about their franchise in general. Their stadium,
yep.
How they approach the teams, who they hire for coaches, and things
Compare
like that.
Levi's to SoFi. The Rams spared no expense with SoFi. And I don't really like it, but like it's a whole different thing than Levi's. It's just like
it's a different thing.
Bare bones. Yeah,
exactly.
Totally bare bones. Yeah.
And I've been there before, being a ex-Michigan native and, having to go way out into the boonies to go to Silverdome, which was hilarious because this, what the Silverdome sold for about 8 years ago? It sold for $300,000 to some Canadian company.
That's so funny.
And they moved back to Detroit.
Wow.
But the point is that as long as you have the Yorks in charge and Parag is running the money, he's really speaking for John York for the most part.
That's right.
So they're not going to be dropping these big deals. So I think that's probably why some of the reasons why some of us are a little bit nervous about Debo. Because if I recall, you and I both said, hey, at the beginning of the year, we were like, no, I'm not re-signing Debo. He's got to do another year. So then Debo just went God mode this year, right? He turned into one of the best players in the league.
Yes.
Bar none. And now he's like, oh, now we got to have him now. So the question is, with all these big free agent contracts, and if you go down and just look at the free agent list and look at it, I am seeing unbelievable contracts. Unbelievable. I said we had to have Lakin, but guess what? They gave Lakin a bag, and he's a good guard. Yep. He is not a very good guard. He is not a great guard. He's a good guard on some days, and some days he's average.
That's true. That is absolutely true.
But that's what free agency is all about, is overpaying for people. So what size bag would you give to Debo? What would you give to him?
What they could do is not extend him at all. They could franchise tag him and go year to year. You could do that. But I mean, if you're afraid of alienating him, I mean, they gave George Kittle the bag just to be, not to alienate him. How'd that work out? He hasn't been the same player since he signed that contract. I'm saying, like, if you're really worried about his longevity, don't give him an extension. What's he going to do? Hold out? I bet you we won't.
No, I don't think he would hold out, but still, even when you franchise a player, that's a big chunk of money against your cap.
True. That's true.
It's going to be about $18 million against the cap. So that's still a big chunk of money against the cap. And right now, we're trying to really get to the Super Bowl as soon as possible. And for me,
the option, look, their option is to pay him top of the market money. They can do it. They have the money. They haven't spent anything this year, and they have $27 million waiting in salary cap space they can make, or they can string him out year by year. And if they're really going to play him at running back, then maybe they should, because running backs last about 2.5 years, and he just played running back for 1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's a point. I think the other point that hasn't factored in yet, this is going to tell us what kind of owners the Yorks need to do, because I agree, when you are close, you should go all in. I agree with that. With a new quarterback coming in, offensive line in flux, which to me seems to be like a youth movement. I'm not confident you go all in right now.
And I guarantee you, if I'm feeling that, the Yorks are the same way. Because last year, they're like, oh, well, we got to the NFC Championship game. Well, what's wrong with what we did last year? That's how they are.
Yeah, that's exactly how they are. Complacent.
They're the bosses that say, hey, I need a new computer. And they're like, for what? What's wrong with that one? It's only 8 years old. That's how they are.
You made it to the NFC Championship game with that computer last year. Now it's a problem. Yeah.
Exactly. So the Yorks right now is probably the biggest part of the problem.
Yeah.
They're not going to cut Jimmy because they're cheap.
Yep.
And then don't get me wrong. I'm very practical. And I agree, too, that it's hard for me to give someone $7.5 million to walk away. But there still could be
They're worth $4 billion, man. Papa Dragon. They're worth $4 billion. That's their problem. They should do it for the what's best for the franchise. Them eating $7.5 million straight up. I don't care.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
I'm with you, but I'm trying to think. I'm playing.
No, I know from their perspective. You're right. You're right. They're not. It's never going to happen.
That's why it's not going to happen.
It's not going to
I'm
happen.
just playing chess here.
No, you're right. You're right. Sorry, I got emotional for a second.
Yeah. So I know you're getting emotional, and I get why fans are all fired up too. Because again, I never agreed with the Jimmy Garoppolo contract, the first one. Mm-hmm. I thought they should have cut him when he was out in public with a porn star. I'm hard like that. I'm straight up. I'm just straight up. I'm just like, look, that's what your franchise is now. Now I got to get rid of my number 10 jerseys on my kids because I got to explain to them it made mom mad. So moving forward, what can they do at this particular point? I felt they should have fortified Trey as much as possible. And I didn't see that. I just wanted one starting offensive lineman in free agency. Just one. And we got none. And that is
Ray McLeod. That's the only offensive player they brought in.
Yeah, but I need an offensive lineman because I don't care who the quarterback is. In that NFC Championship game, we had no blockers. None.
Yeah. Go back and watch the fourth quarter. Yep.
Exactly. It was just embarrassing. They need to be able to block. These teams are really fortifying their pass rushes right now. Pass rushes are always ahead of the offensive line. They need to go all in on their offensive line. They really do. That's when they need to put their money in those trenches, and I think they have a chance for success. But that's, to me, what the deal was. Build around Trey. Protect him because he's been hurt twice. He can't run around. And this is the things he needs to change in this game. Two things. One, this is not college anymore. You can't run. You're not miles up, beyond everybody else where you're just running them over. You can't do that in the pros. And then number two, he's got to play better with his eyes. He has to be able to eye around, move players with his eyes. He's got to play the pro game. If he does that, and I think that he is capable of doing that, the 49ers should be very happy in 3 to 4 years, provided they give him the support. Because I'll be honest with you, as much as I dislike Jimmy Garoppolo and I hope that he got stuck somewhere on some porn set, I'll be honest with you, he didn't have the best offensive line. And I think it turned him into the quarterback that he wound up being, that quick release guy. You know what I'm saying? He's just always getting rid of stuff really, really quick because he's scared of getting hit. Yeah.
Papa, I got to take some more calls, but you killed it, man. Thank you. Thanks for calling in. Man. All right. Take care. Whew. He was on fire. Nana Collins, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Grant?
I'm doing good.
This whole Jimmy G thing is like beyond frustrating and annoying. It's like I said before, like McVay, like commented on your shows that you've had with other people, like McVay got rid of golf right away, didn't screw around, found out that he can't win with him and said, you're gone. But Shanahan and Lynch, it's like they love, and it's not just with Garoppolo too. They did it with Hurd. They did it with McKinnon. They're doing it right now, McGlinchey. They just love to hang on to these. They're doing it with Ford. They just love to hang on to these guys that aren't producing. They're not contributing. We hope.
What and why? Because they don't want to just take the L and move
on.
Yeah.
It's like their ego is first, and then it's the betterment of the team.
We didn't mess up. Ford's going to do something in 3 years, and that one thing is going to be the reason we win the Super Bowl, and everyone's going to say we were smart.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And I think if Garoppolo stays through training camp, it's going to be detrimental to Trey. I think it's going to be, as inept as Urban Meyer was, as crappy as a coach, he knew that he had to have Trevor Lawrence be set up. He got rid of Gardner Minshew, so all that controversy was gone. He shipped him to Philly so that Lawrence would be fully comfortable. And if Urban Meyer, who was probably one of the worst college to NFL coaches ever could understand that. You would think a former head coach's son, and who's been in the league all the years like Kyle had, would understand that too. But like everybody keeps saying, Kyle doesn't really care much about the players as much as his own system, so he probably doesn't think like that. Like, hey, I need to set up Trey. It's no, Trey needs to get ready for my scheme.
Right. No doubt. Absolutely. I agree with that. Yeah.
It's just frustrating, man. It
frustrating.
It feels like every other team in this league knows how to conduct business when it comes to free agency and stuff, but the Niners are always just like, they're always doing some weirdest crap, and you're just like, oh my God.
How can we help Trey Lance become a starting quarterback this year? Should we spend as much cap space as possible to help him? No. Let's just keep Jimmy Garoppolo and his $27 million right there on the roster and say, at least we got a good backup quarterback. How does that help? And then
exactly,
you were a Jimmy fan last year. Like, how does Trey help Jimmy? As long as you have both of them on the roster, you're not really giving either quarterback the best chance to win.
And it's like that locker room is divided anyways, because Eric Armstead was on the Kings network talking about how he saved them. When I heard that, I was like, dude, have you seen this dude play quarterback? He saved you. Like, you guys didn't have anything to do with that. Your running game didn't have anything to do with that. Jimmy saved your franchise. Like, all right.
Yeah. All right, dude.
All right, man. Thanks, Grant.
Great call, Nana. Thanks.
Thank you.
Later. Elijah, you there?
Oh, what's up?
How you doing, man?
Man, I've just been listening, and honestly, I haven't been watching your videos the past like probably week or so, but I mean, I've been keeping up,
Oh, okay, it's all right. I understand.
I've been keeping up through everything, like through the social media and like, Instagram and everything, and I've been seeing how the whole cap space stuff is looking. Like, well, my thing is, why are we holding on to Jimmy? Why are we holding on to D Ford? Why are we not letting any of these guys go? Like, what is going on here? Like, I just do not understand it. What's the point? What's the point of holding a dude that can't throw further than 20 yards and his position's supposed to be
Man,
QB?
you really haven't been here in a while, huh? Well, this is all we talk about. This is the only topic ever. I went out with my friend last night who doesn't watch football. His fiance was like, so what's up with that guy? Have they traded that guy? I'm like, You too? I don't know, man. No one knows. No one on the team knows. It's a mystery. We need Scooby-Doo to figure it out.
And then the funny thing is, to me, is how John Lynch is really trying to sell this dude for 2 second-round picks. My guy. If a quarterback can't throw more than 3,000 yards, can't even touch 4,000 yards, how the hell is he worth 2 second-round picks? How? And just to get off the whole Jimmy thing is, what's up with like?
Remember all the stuff they used to say about Tebow? Doesn't matter. He just wins.
Right.
Great locker room.
But then he has that
passing Tebow.
Exactly, and then he wants to throw the little chicken wing left arm pass. Like, I don't understand it. And my thing is,
Elijah,
go ahead.
I don't have the answers for you, man. I'm sorry. I don't know.
It's weird because like the way how they're treating this offseason, it's like they addressed it, but then as soon as they did the little bit of addressing, they're like, okay, let me just get my foot off the pedal. Let me start holding back. Let me start doing the most conservative route. So it looks like we're just trying to hold on to pieces that don't even really need to be there. Like what we did in free agency, like it's okay. It's not the best. I would grade it probably like a solid B minus, maybe a B at most. But I don't really personally think I personally don't even think we needed to do much. So that's why I see like it's sort of an upgrade because we didn't need to do much. We just need to just fill in the roles that need to be filled because it showed in all of a whole 17-game season and in the playoffs how our special teams was crap. So we had to get somebody for special teams to actually run more than 10 yards because Brandon Ayuk couldn't catch the ball in the air. Richie James wasn't there. What was that one dude? What's his name? Trent Cannon. Dude got hit one time and he went to sleep for the rest of the season. So, I mean, I see what's up with what they did with Ray McLeod, but even then, I mean, there is still more pieces. And then But it's that Jimmy thing. If they don't, until they get rid of Jimmy, then you can't really play your cards anymore. You're just at a disadvantage. And on top of that, what Jimmy's agent is doing for him about the whole surgery thing, that's actually, as a player standpoint, that's actually pretty damn smart, keeping him on the team like that, because now the 49ers don't really have a leverage because they can't offer a team nothing. And then on top of that, they can't really sell you him because they're thinking like, okay, if you sell him to us, he can't start throwing until like training camp. So he's not really getting no off season to really put to really do anything. I mean, even throughout the off season, it's not like he's getting better anyways. I mean, like, I don't know what else for people to understand. Even throughout the off season, the dude probably sits there and probably eats chips all day and then wants to throw a
Elijah,
football.
I got to take more calls, man. Thanks for calling in. You did a good job.
For sure.
I appreciate you. Have a good one, man. No Border Sports. Waruna, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Grant?
I'm doing good. What's up? Hold on, I'm trying to get here we go.
Just usual stuff, but I think about this whole Jimmy Garoppolo fiasco and everything. Two things, the way I say it. First thing is 49ers have a short memory, especially the front office, because they forgot that they traded for a quarterback, except for Jimmy Garoppolo. Another thing is they just won 10 games to get into the playoffs. That playoffs are basically a fluke because we saw what happened with Jimmy and everything. So they just won 10 games. And as I think, as you and Vish discussed on the other day, if not for New Orleans not having a healthy quarterback, we would have been anyway eliminated. So that was the situation. The second thing is they are falling for their own lie. Because if you tell a lie once, it's still a lie. But if you tell it 1,000 times, it becomes true. So that's what happened. Jimmy is good. Jimmy is great.
He's good. He's good. He's a savior. He's the reason we win. He's a winner. He's winning. He's worth something. No, he's not. No one believes you. You just convinced yourself.
So they have fallen for that crap, basically. So right now, that's the situation, because they think when Jimmy says, I want to go to a team that's ready to win, and nobody is there to ask him, Jimmy, were you on a team that was ready to win?
Yeah.
That you could not get it done? So what's the point of you going to another team and ruining their chances as well? So just right?
Exactly.
So just to shut the hell up, go to a team.
Yeah, what team with the Super Bowl window is like, hey, Jimmy, come ruin our Super Bowl window like you did the Niners. Come do that.
Yes. So that's a reason. But for some reason, but the outcome, the possible outcome would be eventually will going to work out for the 49ers, the franchise. I mean, the franchise, but the only problem would be how long it would take. Meaning, for example, right now, Lynch and Shanahan, they are flying too close to the sun. Almost they are ready to get in burned. Basically, they don't realize they are putting their careers on line for a quarterback who is not going to have a extended career in NFL. Are you doing all
this?
Be
a backup the rest of his career, honestly.
Yes.
He could be Marcus Mariota.
Yes. So are you doing all this to save Jimmy Garoppolo's career, to do right by Jimmy Garoppolo? So that's why I don't understand. So, but what will happen is, if they fail this experiment, if they keep Jimmy and not giving the full support, extended support to Trey Lance, eventually they are going to get fired. Probably John Lynch, he will never get a GM job. Kyle Shanahan will have to wait another 4 to 5 years to come back to being a head coach. But 49ers eventually learned the hard way. As I said, all throughout last season, sometimes to build something new, you have to crash the existing thing, burn it to the ground, and start from the beginning. So I think
I'm willing to do that.
Yeah. So still Jedjo and the clan has not learned their lesson yet. So eventually it will happen. So unfortunately, we might get back better again in another 4 to 5 years. Not with Trey Lance. Maybe there will be another quarterback. We will have first all-round pick in another 3 years if the things continue this way. But we'll just have to wait and see how they are going to play this out. But it will be fun, especially for you, even for me. It will be fun.
Quite a lot of intrigue and drama. Thank you very much, Rune. It's great to see you, man.
Okay, see you.
See you. Ken says Ely and Thornton late round, get ED, edge, cornerback, offensive line early. Okay, thanks, Ken. T Bizzle for Shizzle, what's up?
What's up, Grant?
How you doing?
Good. So a few things real quick.
Sure.
Debo Samuel is not, I repeat, not an elite wide receiver. He's an elite wide back.
Yes, he is.
He should be paid like an elite wide back.
Yes.
Wide receiver. And the fans hate when I say this. He
Yeah.
led the league in receiving. He's yards after catch.
Yes.
He's amazing yards after catch. He's an amazing running back. He doesn't deserve
Drops a lot
top
of balls.
elite wide receiver.
Drops a lot of balls, and doesn't really catch many touchdown passes.
He's not an elite wide receiver, and I wouldn't pay him elite wide receiver money. If he takes Christian McCaffrey money, give him a long-term contract. But he's not an elite wide receiver. And also,
so hold on, let's stay with that. So what do you do?
Okay.
Do you franchise tag him? I mean, what do you do? Do you trade him? What do you do?
I would have traded him with Jimmy to the Colts if they would have given us Michael Pittman Jr.
Okay.
That was something I proposed on social media. I didn't get a lot of traction. John Lynch didn't hear about it, obviously, but because Michael Pittman Jr., that's a legit wide receiver, and he's his first year on his rookie contract, so he'll still be cheap for a couple of years. There's a lot of value right there.
See, I always felt like what the Niners were trying to do with Debo is kind of like split the difference. Be like, all right, man, we're not going to make you the highest paid wide receiver in the league, but we're also not going to pay like a running back. How about we do why don't we meet in the middle? And Debo's going to be like, no. So then I wonder where they go from there.
Maybe trade him. The person I probably would franchise tag though is Bosa, because Bosa's injured 50% of the time, and I don't want to give him a long-term contract. And he's a bit of a diva too. But the second thing was what was my second thing? Oh, sorry. Jimmy. When it comes to Jimmy, eyeball test, the guy's not a good quarterback. He's a terrible quarterback. We agree on that.
Yeah.
But there is something to this intangibles thing that you don't like. You don't like that it's there, but this is true. This is a true thing.
There. It's like that's it. That's the whole thing. Like Trey Lance
has
it
there.
Trey Lance has it too.
I don't know if Trey Lance has it or not. He might, but there's something rare with Jimmy. I think it's just he's so handsome. Guys just love being in the huddle with him, and they just play good. I don't know, but he does win. He does. You look at what
Trey Lance is handsome. Lance wins. He's lost one game since high school.
I'm not saying stick with Jimmy. I'm trade Jimmy. Of course, get rid of Jimmy. Cut him if we need to. It's Trey Lance season, but I'm just pointing out you always poo-poo this little thing about intangibles. It's a real thing. I think you could put him on a team if he stays healthy, like Washington or Indianapolis. They could have won with him.
Oh, I disagree. But I guess we'll never know. I'd like to see that. I want to see Jimmy on his next team, because to me, he's been with really good coaches. Go play for the Jaguars and see how that goes. Go play for Chicago. Go to Detroit. Tell me how that goes. I want to see it. I really want to see it. Me and you, we'll have to revisit this conversation. Did you have a third thing you wanted to say?
I forget what it was, but I did want to say, sorry to hear about your mom. You could probably tell him in a Catholic church here, at least, and may God have mercy on her, man.
Hey,
yeah.
My mom was Catholic, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
I know that. That's why I brought it up.
Thank you, man. All right, dude. Good to see you, T-Bizzle.
Yep.
Later. Crack is whack, my guy. Says, gosh. You start talking about trading anyone on the Niners, Kittle, Debo, anyone. Start spitting those facts. People call you crackhead. It's not nice. All right, we got Adam, then Sam, then you really need to and then Jose. Gonna take them in order. Adam, what's up?
Hey Grant, it's Adam, longtime listener, even longer Niner fan. But what I remember the most of being a Niner fan is no offensive line when I was younger. Yep. So for many years we had questionable quarterback play, no offensive line. So when I look at the offensive line, I think about Trey Lance starting. And, I really hope that Aaron Banks can fill in that left side. Mm-hmm. He was a left side guard in college. And when you look at Notre Dame, it looks like he can do that pretty well. But I hope they do everything they can for that right side for Trey Lance. They told Trey Lance he's the guy. I believe it. I mean, but I really do believe it. He's got to be the guy. So
again, it's like, say it publicly. Like it's again being like, you're dating a girl or you're like talking to a girl and you're like, look, you're my girlfriend, but don't tell anyone that I said that you're my girlfriend. And if you say it, I'm going to deny it. But between us, we're exclusive. But no one, it's like, dude, that doesn't work.
Right. No, we got,
you can't
make it official. We want,
you got to make it official. You got to make it Facebook
exactly.
official.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's good for the relationship.
It is good for the
Yeah. But just, I don't know. There's a lot of talk on the channel about how they're looking forward to the future, not going all in. I have a lot of concern about going all in and then the team happening, like going through that whole phase we went through after Harbaugh, where everybody leaves. And maybe the youth movement is a good idea, because if we go to Aaron Banks, if we go to some of these younger players and build in the draft, because we can have sustained success for a while. That's what I'd like to see. I really don't want to go back to the early 2000s where we had nothing.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, if these young guys work out, the Niners are in a really good spot. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with them. Thanks for calling in, Adam.
But they got to play. So there you go.
Well, I think they will.
Yeah.
Have a good one, man.
Thank you.
Sure. Sam.
What's up,
Fitterer.
man?
How you doing?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, so I actually wanted to talk about not the 49ers, but the Rams today, since they're our division rivals.
Sure.
And, I think most of us feel like our offseason's been pretty lackluster. I think the Rams have had a terrible offseason. They lost Whitworth and they lost Von Miller. And who did they replace him with? Allen Robinson. So, I think it's like disrespectful to the Niners and a little arrogant, because how do we always beat them? We run the ball, and we pass rush well. Matt Stafford's a good player, but, one of his detriments is that he holds the ball too long and gets sacked sometimes. So, that kind of plays to our strength. They lost their best offensive lineman. They lost Von Miller, who's, primarily a pass rusher, but good against the run. Yes. He made some plays against the Niners last year in the run game. So Allen Robinson, I think, is washed. He's going to be 29 years old this season. He played 12 games last year and had 410 receiving yards on 38 receptions in one touchdown. And, for comparison, George Kittle, who you're trying to trade away, 14 games this season, 910 receiving yards on 78 receptions.
Great point. And Allen Robinson is definitely, he's a year older than Kittle. Yes.
They're about the same. So George Kittle will be 29 this year in October. Allen Robinson turns 29 in August. So he's a couple months older.
Got it.
So, but
he's torn his ACL, right?
Yeah, he has. He's missed a whole season.
Never
he gets banged up. 15 mil a year. That's basically what George Kittle makes. So, just trying to line them up. George Kittle's a way better player. And,
that's fair.
I think the Rams, it's like, we beat the Niners once in the playoffs. We got it. Don't worry about it. But they barely beat us with Jimmy Garoppolo. And they've done basically nothing to treat us like we're their rivals in the division. They've done nothing to make their run defense better. They've done nothing to make their running game better. I mean, they don't have a good running back on the roster.
No, they don't.
Let alone,
I'm not a big fan of and their offensive line is the biggest problem is their offensive line. It's
absolutely
terrible. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my 2 cents. I just wanted to come in and bash the Rams real quick.
That was a great call. That was a great call. It's fun to bash teams other than the Niners because I spent a lot of time on that. So thank you.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Our offseason hasn't been great either, but at least we had needs on special teams. We did something about it. We had needs in the secondary. We at least signed a guy. He might not have been the best corner. I'm with you. J.C. Jackson would have been sick. But, he's good. He seems like a good player. So the Niners at least are making some, reference to the fact that they could be better in certain areas. The Rams are like, we're the best team and we don't need to do jack even more. It does seem
like all the teams going all in are in the AFC. And the teams in the NFC are just like.
I mean, the Dolphins have blown me away, man. I mean, the amount of effort that they're putting in this year, it's like, I never expected that. Most guys coming into a team that, probably needs some work. They give it a year or two.
They're showing so much more confidence in Tua than the Niners are showing in Lance. It's Tua.
Yeah, I mean,
you're like, cares.
Yeah, put the fastest dudes around him. I mean, just throw it underneath like the Niners do with Jimmy, and they'll make plays after the catch. So I mean, the AFC is nuts this year. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks for thank you, man. Thanks for taking the call.
Right. Take care.
Peace.
All right. This is hold on. Let me get the full name out there so people can see it. Boom.
Oh, that was just for you.
All right. What's up? How you doing?
What's going on, my man? Hey, I just wanted to say to the people, don't panic over these free agencies. Look at what the Patriots do. I'm from Boston. Look at what the Patriots do. They get these no-name guys to play at the highest level and they win. I think the Niners are fine. They don't need extra pieces. And I'm going to say something that probably people is very controversial. They really don't need secondary pieces. They just need to make sure that D-line is shored up and that they're rushing the quarterback. What we do need is to get rid of Jimmy. That's it. Our only problem, think about this, Grant. You're a very logical guy. What was our only problem? What was the 49ers' only problem last year? The only problem. The one problem that stopped them from advancing to the Super Bowl. What was that person's name?
James Richard Garoppolo, the first.
And that's it. That's it. Everything else
I mean,
is
sure, you could
fine.
get better in the secondary. You could add a playmaker at safety. I mean, sure, why not? But like getting rid of the biggest liability on your team, who plays the most important position and makes the most money, is such a good start. It's such a great start. And the Niners
That's
are like,
what we need to do.
What do we do? Get rid of Jimmy. Cut him right today, right now. Right now. And the thing is, you have to cut him that $7.5 million check. But when he eventually signs somewhere else, you get that cap space back. He keeps the check. But you get the full $25 million eventually. I'm just saying.
Yep.
Yep. That's a good point, man.
I have a question.
Go for it.
I try to understand this during this whole season, during the last couple of years, actually. What is the love affair with Jimmy? And my other part of the question is, why do people continue to use this particular narrative? Jimmy led them to the Super Bowl. Jimmy didn't lead us nowhere. Jimmy was on a bus.
To the Super Bowl.
Jimmy was on the bus sitting in a seat. He didn't drive anything.
No. Debo drove.
What's his name? The guy Lombardi, he always says this. Like, Jimmy Garoppolo, check his stats. His stats are, I could take a high school quarterback and put that kid on the 49ers and he'll have Jimmy numbers.
Yeah,
Jimmy's never been mentioned.
Even on the Niners, his numbers are trash in the playoffs.
Has he ever been mentioned for a Pro Bowl at all?
No, absolutely
so
not.
So what is the love affair that people keep saying he's good? He's not. He's not good. He's serviceable.
Where are you from? Where are you from?
Boston. I seen him. We talk about this here.
Okay, so you knew Jimmy before Niner fans did, and now you're watching this unfold from afar. What's your perception as an outsider from the Bay Area?
He is what they said he was in private, but the news, like the media, had painted him a different way.
Yeah,
Jimmy was like who was it, McCourty or one of the twins or something that said that Jimmy wasn't. That's who he was. This narrative that the team had, the narrative that the team rallied around him. They were told that. I think management and the coaching staff said, "Hey, we have something special. We need to keep all the chatter in house," and people couldn't really speak about. Look at Brandon Ayuk's message. I want the deep ball now. It's starting to come out now.
Yep.
So Jimmy is who we thought he was. He is a serviceable quarterback, and really, that's all the 49ers needed until they can find somebody else. Now it's time to get rid of Jimmy.
Yep.
Buy Jimmy, because that Rams game, the last play that he threw the interception when Darnold had him, what would Trey do in that situation? What would a mobile quarterback have done in that situation? They wouldn't have stayed around long for Darnold to finally get to him. And this is what we need. This is what the Shanahan offense needs. Mm-hmm. I think that people need to just chill out. Jimmy Garoppolo has been the problem for the longest time, and we're getting rid of him. Yeah. And we're going to be better for that.
The problem, I guess, is like Niner fans and some journalists have gaslighted themselves relentlessly to say that not only is he not the problem, he's the solution. He's the reason. He's the reason they win, when actually he's the reason they don't win more. And like that, that's a whole paradigm shift to make in your mind. And certain people aren't ready to do that yet. Some people may never be ready to do that.
Grant, if there was a stat for almost interceptions in the league, who would lead that? I don't know. Do you have any idea?
Also, like interceptions to linebackers and people standing within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. That's another one that he dominates. Crazy, man.
Hey, man. Thank you for having me, brother.
Call in anytime. That was A+. Good job.
All right.
All right, man. Sam, thanks for taking my call, man. Well, thanks for calling in. You did a good job. Jose, OG, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, Grant?
Good. How you doing, man? Nice.
I'm doing all right. I just really wanted to say this real quick. The only silver lining of us keeping Jimmy is maybe possibly the Niners are just keeping him on purpose just to cut him for no elation at the end of it all, and maybe towards training camp, just because of the fact that Jimmy and his management, Don Yee or whatever his name is, was late to do the surgery. So maybe since they were late to do the surgery, was basically taint his whole trading value. We're like, okay, we'll keep you. I guess we'll have to, since we can't really get nothing for you, but we'll trade you when the market's already dried up and no one's going to be able to want you. And if they do want you, they're going to
cut him when the market's dried up, or trade him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, like towards training camp, basically.
Sure.
They'll cut him when the market's dry, and then if a team does want him, if they do even want him, they'll probably want him just as a backup, if anything. So Jimmy, hey, you've been a starter for us for a long time. You've been quote unquote the savior for a long time. Well, now you're going to go from that to somebody's backup, whether it's I don't know. There's tons of quarterbacks right there that Davis Mills is backup. Who knows? Just somebody's backup. Maybe they just want to really put that out there and make Jimmy, put him in a spot because of the fact that they were late to do the surgery for whatever the case was.
Yeah. I wonder how much money Jimmy Garoppolo is going to make this year if he's not on the Niners. I'd be curious to know.
I'd imagine it wouldn't be much, because if the best free agent quarterback, and I'm talking about trades, I'm talking about that was in the free agency market, who I think was Jameis, he only got $14 a year, and that's him as a starter, plus incentives, but $14 a year as a starter.
I think he's going to have to be a backup for a year, man.
No, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
And the other thing, too, is I just, please, for the love of God, put John Lynch in the John Elway role that he has in Denver and make Adam Peters the GM, please. Please, please, please. Adam Peters was one guy from being the Giants general manager. They went with the Bills guy because Daboll is going there. But please make Adam Peters the GM and move John Lynch out of the main office into a VP office or something. Because, man, John Lynch has butchered so many first-round picks. It's quite comedic, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree, man. Anything else on your mind? It's always good to see you, man.
Oh, you too, man. Appreciate it. Maybe I guess just the whole. I need the Niners, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan to be particular, since they're the ones that are running the team, and Jed York, all three. Actually, give me all three of them. I need all of them to come out to the media and to commit to Trey Lance and not do this whole behind the back thing.
I agree.
Like, because the at least to the media and to the world, what you're doing is you're not really showing that you care for the guy you just traded 3 first-round picks for, and you're committing basically your whole team, your whole franchise to. And also, these players need to start committing to him as well. Like the other caller that just said about Eric Armstead on the Sacramento Kings network, talking about Jimmy. Why are we talking about Jimmy, bro, when he's the one that threw the ugly interception that lost us the game with a minute with over a minute left?
Talking about him anymore.
They all need to commit to Trey Lance, man. Yeah. It's kind of infuriating. And hell, I mean, if we're able to commit to guys that are not even like healthy at the moment, like Mike McGlinchey or there's a couple never mind that point. Right. But also too, we lost DJ Jones. We need another run stopper. We added Hyder, which is fine, but we need another run stopper. And please bring back Jaquiski Tartt on a vet minimum deal, whatever you need to bring him, because I'd rather take 8 to 9 games with Jaquiski Tartt and then maybe play more than to just take a chance on these guys that they have on the roster right now at safety.
Agree. Great call, man. Thanks for calling in.
You take care, all right?
See you, Jose. You too. Pete.
Hey, Grant. How are you doing, man?
Good. How you doing, man?
First time. Yeah, I'm good, man. First time caller. I just wanted to get a take off about Debo. I hear everybody just kind of getting frustrated, and you know, the media always likes to put out these stories at this time because there's really nothing going on. But I just don't think anything happens with Debo. I think they're gonna end up re-signing him and extending him. And the reality is the Warner deal took some time. So did the Kittle deal. So people just need to be patient. It's gonna happen. And I want to get that one off. But also I want to talk about the offensive line. I hear a lot of people talking about the offensive line, but what I think, I'm looking at the draft, and I think that it would kind of behoove them to go early in the draft, like offensive tackle. I have my first mock draft pick at 61 as an offensive tackle, and then of course I'm looking at Donovan West at center, as a guard center, maybe somebody that could work next to Alex Mack for a year and then go right into that position after. But I just wanted to get your take on how you feel about the offensive line.
I'm a little nervous about drafting a tackle at 61. Usually the tackles, the good ones, go a little earlier. I mean, that's just usually. I haven't looked at these tackles specifically. They also need a guard and a center. I mean, probably the best offensive lineman available is what they have to do at 61, which is too bad. You don't want to be pigeonholed into a certain position. You want to go best player available, but I think they have to go offensive line. They've lost 2 starters.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. I'm looking at Abraham Lucas out of Washington State. Him and there's another guy in Penn State, Rashid. I want to say it's Rashid Davis, but yeah, like there's just a couple of guys that I see that are good, and then Cordell Volson could go later on in the day 3 picks from North Dakota State, so he'd be familiar with Trey Lance. That's another guy that actually looked pretty good from the tape that I saw, but yeah, like I'm just excited. I'm really excited to talk to you. Like I've always wanted to get on here, but yeah, like I just really think Debo's going to end up back on the Niners. I don't see them giving up on him. He's too much of a leader, I feel like, and he's just a team player from how I look at it.
It's just going to be interesting. Like it seems like he's Parag's kryptonite. Like Parag is going to have he's going to malfunction. Like $31 million. No, I can't do this. And then Kyle's going to have to be like, dude, you work for me. All right. We're going to get this done pretty much.
Yeah. For sure. I appreciate it, Grant.
Great
have
call,
a good
Pete.
one.
Thanks for calling in for sure.
Thanks.
Double B Studio says, why can Grant Cohn splash an upgrade chair that'll add years to your life? Niners can't even splash by cutting old chair Jimmy Garoppolo that squeaks and reeks. Oh. They're like, it's a good chair. What's wrong with that chair? Sure, we have this other chair here that we just spent $5,000 on it, but we're going to save that chair for next year. This is still a good chair. What's up, man?
Oh, man, that was a funny comment. What's up, Mr. Cohn? How are you?
I'm good, Mr. Martin. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. It's been a while. I've been watching in the background the whole time, but it's been a while since I've been on the show. Man, lots been going on. To be honest with you, man, the truth is, I'm disappointed, Grant. I'm really disappointed in my heart. As you know, I stay on the East Coast. If I stayed in California and Jimmy was still on my team, I would probably boycott this season. I would probably turn in and demand a refund for my season tickets, and I would boycott the season. That's how strongly I feel about the situation. Now, that being said, I also know that there's a certain thing as an off season, and sometimes things have to play out, right? Trey could still be the guy. I hope that Trey's the guy. As far as what he needs, I wish I could fire Jed for real. I wish I could fire Jed York. I read an article where Jed York was quoted saying he would gladly pay $25 million for another year of Trey Lance's development. And that, in my mind, is just a avid, oh my goodness, I can't even think of the word right now. It's just such a flagrant misuse of team funds that I can't even begin to talk about how much that frustrates me. Stephon Gilmore is still out there. You know what I'm saying? We could have made several more big splash moves in free agency that would have pretty much cemented our run at a Super Bowl run next year, all while still developing Trey.
To me, like the Super Bowl window is open. I don't know if they agree, but to me, the Super Bowl window is open because of Debo Samuel. And he is a running back now. Like his shelf life could be short. And the fact that they're acting like if they could just settle on a quarterback, they might win a Super Bowl. It's not even about the quarterback. They have Debo. And they're like, well, we don't have our quarterback yet. Who cares? I'm just saying.
We got a quarterback. And that is what Trey Lance needs, is for the team to stop acting like they didn't just mortgage half a decade on this guy right now. Like give him the keys to the car and let's get this show on the road. I'm really having a hard time understanding why we're still having this conversation. Unless you, of course, you tell me listen, we're just waiting for the semantics on some offseason stuff to happen. We tried to make a play, but it didn't work out. Trey's our guy. If we can't get nothing, we're gonna cut him, and we'll still be able to save some money. If that happens, then I can sit back and relax as a fan. But if not, I'm telling you, and as a fan, Grant, almost 3 decades, this is the most upset I've ever been. And we've been through some bad years. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep. No, because this feels like such a missed opportunity. Like when they're going through the Tom Sula and Chip Kelly years, everyone retired. You knew the coach was trash. They had a long way to go. Now you're right outside the promised land. You know what I mean? And you can't do anything to get in. Like, what are you doing? You just wandered through the desert for 27 years and you're there and you're going to keep blowing it, man. Come on. It's frustrating.
And I don't know if anybody else has given you this stat, Grant. I've looked at the teams in the last decade. There's only been a few teams to go to a Super Bowl multiple times. We're the only team to go to the Super Bowl multiple times in this past decade and not get a W from it. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
What are you guys gonna do differently? And you know what? You've talked about it on some of your other shows. You know, these guys are playing numbers. These guys are worried about bottom line and filling the stands and that sort of thing. I get it. You know, Parag's over there buying other teams and all this, and the Niners organization has become more of a business. Can we please get back to the 80s when we was just trying to get it done? Can we do that, please? That would make my soul happy as a fan. That's what I need. That's what Trey needs. Because otherwise, Trey's gonna get squandered.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if Trey gets squandered, that's gonna be a sad story. Could you imagine if Patrick Mahomes never got a team put around him and never was able to get a championship, let alone talk about being maybe the next great one. That's what we're talking about here with Trey. That's how finite the scale is. We could either set this man up for success on his career, or we could botch the whole thing. And if it's botched, it's a sad story. It's a very sad story.
I know. And there's still time to save it. It's not there yet, but it's trending that direction because the Niners can't make a decision. Great call, man.
Hey, man, always great to see you, Grant.
Thanks for calling in, man. It's been a minute.
All right, now.
Later. Number one Rams fan.
Hey, what's up? The immortal Grant Cohn.
How you doing, man? Great to see you.
Good. It's Sunday. You know, I'm chilling. I heard you were on, so I go, let me go on my man's thing here.
Thanks.
This Jimmy talk, the Jimmy countdown is amazing. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it.
It's like something a bad team would do. And the Niners, like, I think of them as a bad organization because they've had so many bad years, but like, they're a good ass team right now. Like, why are you acting like this? It's so beneath you. You need this third round pick for next year from Jimmy. Like, nah, dude, move on. Get your cap space. That's so beneath you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And I was no, you're good. I was listening to everyone talking, and I listen because I enjoy your show, and it's nice to see perspective from other teams. That's why I like to listen to. But it's a great, entertaining show. I love when Vish is on there. But like you said, they were frugal with Levi Stadium. You know, they were frugal with everything else except for they keep Jimmy on the payroll. Yeah, and why? I mean, and it doesn't make any sense. But I wanted to tell you this. And this is, I don't think this is what's happening. But do you think that they're trying to bide their time? Maybe they're hoping the Rams draft capital will, because that's the only other person in their division that can be a problem for them. Do you think they're trying to see if the Rams how they're going to do this year before they put Trey Lance in there? You know, maybe the Rams cap will catch up with them or something, because it doesn't make sense. The window's now. Yeah,
I mean, maybe they feel that the Rams have taken a step back. One of my previous calls is the Rams have gotten worse this offseason. What do you think about that?
Well, I hated to see like on that topic. We don't mince words. If we think we can upgrade our team, we'll have to just bite the bullet and get rid of you. I hated that we lost Robert Woods, but then we got 6'1", 6'3", Allen Robinson, and so we didn't get Von Miller back, but we're still, the Bobby Wagner talks are still going. We're not the same pass rush, but maybe if we get a Bobby Wagner to go with Ernest Jones in the middle, and we'll see what happens. But Gilmore's even an option too, because we were getting all that money ready, restructuring deals for Von Miller. And so we said, okay, Von, we didn't get you, but now our offense is going to be loaded.
So what you're telling me is that the Rams aren't necessarily done.
We're not done.
Because the Niners seem like they're freaking done, man. There's no, because I know the Rams are linked to Bobby Wagner. The Niners are they're linked to nobody.
Yeah.
Because they have no cap space.
And that's what's amazing, because you guys, I mean, I hate to say it, the San Francisco 49ers, when they were in Candlestick and they had Eddie DeBartolo, wheeling and I mean,
standard. It was like,
when the Rams make moves, I'm pretty sure he gets a gleam in his eye, because that's what he would be doing.
Yep.
Basically, we're the 80s 49ers right now. We're making moves, and I basically we're trying to win now, and we're not messing around.
Grandfather was the general manager of those teams. Am I wrong?
Yeah. So I mean, it's there. I don't understand what's going on, but as a Ram fan, like you asked me the last time I was on, what do we think about it? We get a kick out of it. I mean, it's hilarious. When we see a 49er fan walking around with a Jimmy Garoppolo jersey, I get a smirk on my face, especially now. But he wins. Yeah, he didn't win the big one though. Yeah, but he wins. Yeah, but he didn't win the Super Bowl. So what did he win then? What did he win?
He won the regular season game. Yeah, what did he win? Yeah,
he won this is his legacy. He won 5 meaningless games in 2017. He stripped the Niners of that big cap number, and then blew the biggest games in their franchise history in the last 20 years. That's his legacy.
That's true.
Jimmy Garoppolo. So he wins, but he doesn't win the games that you need him to win.
He breaks your heart.
Can't do it. Yeah, so it's unfortunate, but as a Ram fan, like I said, I love it. But props to you, man. I appreciate it. But I wanted to tell you one more thing about the spending thing. It's almost like we're Jurassic Park over here. Spend no expense. We're working on a 134-acre training facility for the Rams. I can't remember the property, but we're going to build that for our team. So in the NFC West, I mean,
134 acres.
134 acres for training facility.
Where you find 134 acres in SoCal?
I don't know, but Stan Crocky's a business mogul in a land. That's cool. That's what we're looking at right now. So I mean, it's amazing being a fan with this franchise. And
San Bernardino, you got to Paris.
You know what? If you have a second, hold on. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, let me know. I'm curious.
I'll tell you right now.
134 acres? What?
Okay. Hold on. Right now.
I don't think it's that important.
Woodland Hills site. Woodland Hills.
Okay.
Wow. A vacant promenade. A vacant promenade mall in Woodland Hills. So
that Walmart money. All right, man. I gotta take some more calls.
But yeah, no problem, brother. I wanted to appreciate it. Thank you for coming on a Sunday. Take care, everybody. And and Rams Watch is also Jimmy Watch, because we'll be surprised when they finally cut the strings in the umbilical cord. So we'll see what
got
happens.
99 problems, but 49ers ain't one. That's funny, man. Good to see you, dude.
All right, brother. Appreciate it. Take care, man.
Later, man. He's got the WWF belt there too. Hella funny. I love that guy's backdrop. Chardal.
Good afternoon, Grant. How's your day going so far, man?
It's going great, man. How's yours?
Hey, my day is going well, man.
Nice.
I'm sorry I couldn't call yesterday on Friday. I had work, so
That's okay.
I couldn't call in.
That's okay.
So I wanted to, but I couldn't call in.
It's fine. You're here now. That's what matters.
But the thing I like about Trey Lance that I really like, that really makes me happy about him, is that he's really fast on his feet. He has a great cannon arm. He can really throw the ball really far. I mean, he can make some really impressive plays if you let him on his own and just kind of let him play.
I agree.
What have you seen about Trey Lance? Like, just kind of impressed you, like, overall as a quarterback?
Good question. Two things that I think don't jump out, but I like the most about him: how he avoids sacks. He's really quick and strong. Like, when he's hard to sack, in my opinion, harder to sack than Colin Kaepernick was. He's really, really tough. Even if you hit him, he can knock you down. He can shrug you off. And then, I mean, this is a projection, but at least from what I saw in training camp, he doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. He didn't throw a lot of interceptions in college. Maybe that'll change in regular season games. I'm not sure. But I think the combination of avoiding sacks and avoiding turnovers is a great start That's a great start.
So when you compare Trey Lance, could you say you could compare him to Steph Curry? That he's a great person off the field, and when he's on the field, he's like, this football, like I gotta play my game. I can't be messing around on this field. I can't be joking around here. This is the NFL game. You gotta put your life on the line, play your best game of football, and prove the haters wrong.
Yeah, I can see the comparison there. Absolutely, yes.
Cause you see that sometimes Trey is like really nice off the field, like he's a really great guy, but when he's on the field, like he wants to play and win. That's all on his mind. That he wants to win the game.
I certainly see that. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So to me, I think I would say that Trey Lance would be babyface assassin number 2.
Oh, I like it. Okay.
You like
Babyface
it?
assassin number 2. That's his new nickname.
You like my comparison that I'm comparing Trey Lance to Steph Curry, just
yes.
as both as a just as a person, like comparing both of the individuals as like trying to see their talents and trying to compare them.
I feel like going from Jimmy Garoppolo to Trey Lance is going to be like when the Warriors went from Monte Ellis to Stephen Curry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Monte Ellis couldn't really shoot threes, wasn't really good, couldn't really see the floor, didn't have really high basketball IQ, kind of just put his head down and drove. And he was like the original Russell Westbrook without as much talent. And then Steph Curry came in and just like changed the whole team. How about that? Remember Monte Ellis?
I heard of Monte Ellis.
He wasn't that great. You didn't miss much.
No. But when you heard that we let go of Raheem Mostert and DJ Jones, were those kind of like shocking moves to let Raheem Mostert leave and then let DJ Jones go?
I'm not surprised. It seems like the Niners have made up their mind that they're not going to re-sign any starters this year. That if anyone wants any money, they're gone, and they're going to just go with young guys this year. And I think it's kind of strange, but in retrospect, like I doubt they really made a competitive offer for Laken Tomlinson or Raheem Mostert, which is interesting.
To me, CG Ruthless is so happy that the 49ers let Tom Compton go, the offensive lineman, because he says like he hates Tom Compton and he can be a way better offensive lineman than he is.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see him strap it up then, because the Niners going to need a right tackle. So
yeah, because he made a video on YouTube saying that I could be a way better offensive lineman than he is. Like he was saying, like, Tom Compton, you suck. I mean,
that's silly, man.
When you're up against,
I don't even know if Colton McKivitz is as good as Tom Compton.
What?
That's silly because I don't even know if Colton McKivitz is as good as Tom Compton or Jalen Moore. Tom Compton played for a reason last year.
I mean, which other free agents would you like the 49ers to sign? I mean, is it too late to the Niners to sign anybody else, or can they go
Riley
and sign
Reef,
somebody?
He's still out there, right? It's not too late.
So can they go out and sign like another player, maybe a running back, a cornerback, maybe
not until they cut Jimmy.
Safety?
Not until they cut Jimmy. That's holding the whole thing up.
But which team do you want? Jimmy Garoppolo to go to? Like everybody's saying Pittsburgh Steelers. Everybody's saying I don't know what other teams he really wants to go to, but
cut him. No one wants him.
But I'm happy that whichever teams it goes to, I care that, you know, I wish him the best in whichever team he goes to, really.
Me too.
As a fan.
Absolutely, me too.
If he's successful in any team he goes to, then that's really what it matters.
That is what matters. I'm rooting for him. I'm a big Jimmy Garoppolo fan.
Yeah.
That's the way it
I
is.
mean, but I don't know, but the thing is that I have a Trey Lance jersey and then I have a Jimmy Garoppolo jersey. What tips do you give me? Because people are saying that you get rid of your Jimmy G jersey, like, you know, like I'm getting pressured way too much.
I think you should do whatever the heck you want to do. Don't let anyone tell you what to do ever.
Because I don't know what to do, because I have a Jimmy G jersey and people are saying like he's gonna get traded and you might as well
hasn't gotten traded yet. I say hold on to that jersey until he's off the team, because he might be on the team for the next 10 years. I don't know.
Because I mean, like I'm not gonna let people control me and then let their decisions impact what my decisions will be.
You can't go through life like that, letting other people make decisions for you. You're Chardal. You're gonna let them decide for you? No, absolutely not.
They're
I
not
won't let
real.
it happen. I won't stand for it.
They're not real friends if they do that. They're not your friends, because real friends.
Your jersey, you decide what to do with it. That's what I say.
I'll keep it.
That's right. I like it. I support it.
And I'll wear it.
I gotta take some more calls, man. But I always appreciate when you call in. You do
But
a great
it's really
job.
nice calling in your show, and I'll call in next Sunday for the Cohn phone.
All right, wear that Jimmy jersey next year. Next
Okay,
week.
I'll do
No,
it.
I'm just kidding. Do whatever you want to do. I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
I'll do whatever I want to do.
Do whatever you want to do, man.
I'll
All right,
do
I'll see you
that.
around.
I
All right,
really
peace.
like you. You're a really great person.
I like you
Thanks.
too, man. You're a great dude. I'll see you
See you
around. Have a
later,
great
man.
weekend. Have a great week. See ya.
Bye.
Real quick, Todd, just a second. Dude says, what's the chance Seattle picks up CK7? He could easily start 15 games right now. Also, you need to get Money Eddie D on the show. Oh, that would be so much fun. I've interviewed him before. Really, he gave me an hour in 2016 on the phone. They should sign him. Doesn't it kind of feel like Colin Kaepernick is building up to someone, like someone's like, hey, you need to get ready. Just saying. He's really making a push right now. Good for him. Seattle, do it. Do it. I think that would be so cool. I would like it. Todd, what's up?
Hey, Grant.
How you doing, Todd?
Good, and you? What's up, man?
I'm all right, man. What's on your mind?
Man, I'll give you a couple points, and I'll make it short.
Okay.
If they keep Jimmy, it'll be to the summer. It'll be to the summer. They'll cut. I think they'll cut him. I think they will. They'll just take an L, say what it is. Do what it is.
Yeah.
And what else? It is what it is. Hey,
Okay.
Chardal, sell your jersey on eBay.
You ain't getting anything for that on eBay now. The word is out.
Sell for $40, and you're good. I'm not kidding you, but I don't know, man. It's just it's a weird off season, man, because they haven't in past off seasons. Look at last year they made some good signings last year. Free agency. This year it's slow. It's slow. It's like I don't know. I don't know.
Well, last year I feel like what they did was their big move was extending Trent Williams and Fred Warner, right? Two extensions. Trent Williams, Fred Warner, and that was it. That was pretty much what they did. This year, same thing, right? Debo and Nick. That's what they're waiting to do. And I think from their perspective, there's no rush to cut Jimmy because that money's earmarked for them. Like, I guess. Okay. Yeah.
One thing before I let you go, what can you sign like Nick Bosa to these are like it's just hypothetical, but would they sign to Nick Bosa to like a 7-year contract and like Debo to like a 5-year? Would that
maybe? I mean,
the numbers is the numbers, but like it's like long term because you want to get the most out of them.
They may not want that though. Maybe Debo wants to hit the market again before he's 35. Hard to say. Yeah. Hey, good call, man. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, man.
See you,
Grant.
Todd.
See you.
Yep. Barry Baller, what's up?
What's up, Grant?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, Grant, when the national media over the last few months was saying Jimmy G's going to get a 2nd-round pick, a 3rd-round pick, do you remember anyone calling in and saying, pushing back, Grant, Jimmy doesn't have any trade value?
No trade market. You said it all year. Steadfast.
Yeah, I was trying to let the fan base know ahead of time that Jimmy G doesn't have any trade value. And that's how it's played out. Not only that, hey, Grant, last year, there was some pretty prominent beat reporters that were saying they weren't even sure Arden Key was going to make this team last offseason. And who called into your show and predicted Arden Key was going to be 2nd on the team in sacks behind Nick Bosa?
My guy.
Thanks, Grant. That's what I'm saying. I'm approaching 900 subs on YouTube. I'm trying to get to 1,000. So that's why I want to shout out the Coneheads. Hey, subscribe to me on YouTube if you want to know the real scoop before it happens. Bay Area Baller 18. And anyway, that's over. I'm done hyping up myself. Okay. But if I don't do it, who will, right?
You got to. I will.
What I'm saying.
Subscribe to Bay Area Baller 18. He knows his stuff.
Hey, thanks, Grant. Today, what I wanted to hit on, and I alluded to it a bit yesterday on your membership, which I enjoyed that show yesterday. And it's about Ray McLeod. I'm excited about Ray. And shoot, we were tweeting each other back and forth this morning. You're like, well, he's only averaging, 10 yards a reception in college, which was true. And I didn't have a comeback for that. I'm like, man, 10 yards a catch does seem relatively low. But I did my own research and it's like Cole Beasley, Danny Amendola, Hunter Renfro, all these slot receivers are averaging right around like 11 yards a catch in college. So 10 doesn't seem to be too far off the mark for a slot receiver.
Fair. Hold on. I'm really intrigued on Ray too. I've been thinking a lot about him, and you kind of opened my mind to him. Here's his NFL Combine scouting report. It's so interesting. Listen to this. Strengths. Used in gadget packages with plenty of experience with jet sweeps and receiver screens. Good straight line speed. Former high school running back with good strength in lower half to break tackles as a runner. Catches with good focus. Shows ability to work through contested catches. Solid and safe in his duties as a punt returner. Has had brief experience at cornerback. Weaknesses. Has never had a true position fit. I mean, that's exactly the kind of guy Kyle looks for. Oh, you're a gadget guy? You don't really have a position? Good. I want players like that. So, I mean, is he?
And they paid him. They paid him, Grant. And we know Shanahan doesn't pay for strictly guys who he's going to use in the return game. He's mentioned multiple times that I'm not going to use a guy who's strictly a returner. He needs to be a legitimate asset in the offense. And Ray McCloud, I had the hot take that I typed in yesterday. I think he's going to have more total yards, receiving and rushing combined, than Juwan Jennings. Yes, I was disappointed the 49ers didn't get a second tight end in free agency. That might mean more 3 wide receiver sets, which Ray, Juwan could be on the field more. And here's the thing with Ray. He was buried on that depth chart out in Pittsburgh. They had some talent over there, right? Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, James Washington, Juju Smith-Schuster. So it's like, when you're the 4th or 5th guy, it's hard to put up a bunch of numbers. And especially they used him in this underneath role. He was running a bunch of drags and hitches, like you said, bubble screens. And I think Shanahan's going to use him in a different way. I think he's a really good route runner. He was making some spectacular catches. I think he has good hands. I'm really excited about Ray McCloud. And last year I was hyping up Arden Key. I'm still watching more. I'm watching as much as I can on Ray, but so far, he's that guy that I'm the most excited about, and I think he's going to have this big breakout season.
Love it, man. Everyone subscribe to Barry Baller 18 on YouTube. Make sure you do that. Thanks for calling in, man. Nice
hey,
hat.
Thanks, Grant. Thanks.
For sure. All right, Bryant, what's up?
Hey, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. Well, once again, Jimmy's a topic because he's going to be the topic until he's gone.
True.
So I really wanted to just say I think it's the Yorks. If they really wanted him gone, he'd be gone. And they're not saying push. They know if he is still on the team next year, he gets the 3rd round compensation pick. So they don't really have to push to get 2-2s or anything. And the team already believes in Jimmy. But it really it's alarming because if they would have just let him go when he got injured his first time in Kansas City, we could have moved on from there, but they didn't because they got Jimmy. So it sucks because I have like 3 jerseys. My daughter has 2 jerseys. I have a jersey, and when he threw that interception in the championship game when we lost, she looks at me and says, "Can we just bring my jersey now, Dad?" And I'm like, No. We're not just throwing away, no. Yeah. Jimmy has talent and he's got value, but no one wants to take him on right now because of his contract. And once we either release him, cut him, someone will pick him up, but they'll sign him
for sure. Yeah.
And I don't know, but I thought, and maybe you know the answer, when we do cut him, say we cut him early, we get nailed $7.5 million. But just as soon as his physical passes and he signs with another team, don't we get that 7.5 back?
You get the cap space back. Jimmy keeps that check.
Okay.
It's just money.
Money.
Yeah. Will you spend it?
Yeah, it would be like basically equaling out, right? So
it's cost of doing business. Go away. The price to make him go away. I would do it. I mean, if you're worth $4 billion, that's peanuts to you. That's just the principle of the thing at that point. If you're just spiting him because you don't want to give him more money because he beat you, because he did this and had the surgery late.
So I'm gonna jump off real quick because that's what I want to say. But the last thing is if he does go somewhere, I see him falling either back with the Patriots or the Dolphins.
I can see it. I don't really care. I just want him gone. Good to see you, man.
Thanks, man. Have a good show.
Later. Matt, what's up? I can't hear you. I can't see you. Are you there? Here, call back in. Try it again. Go Niners. You there?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yo, what's up?
Oh, I was gonna say about how the Niners, like, they just botched this entire plan with Trey Lance and how they're gonna go with it for this year. Last year, once he got injured, they should have just cut him right there or tried to trade him. Because if you really think about it, Trey Lance going in this year, it's his rookie year, and he's gonna have a almost worse team around him than Jimmy had last year.
Last year. Yep.
So if we do worse than we did last year, all these rumors about we should have kept Jimmy are gonna start all over again.
Agree. That's true.
So instead of they should have just cut Jimmy at the end of this year and then re-signed the key players that they should have, like Laken Tomlinson, and signed Lyle Collins. They would have helped Trey Lance a lot because it's his rookie year. If he played last year, he would have been way better than Jimmy.
Yeah,
Jimmy
and the
played
team
like
was
a
better
rookie last year. Like he didn't know what was going on.
Jimmy plays like a rookie every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
agree with
I
you,
think
man. I agree.
I think Trey Lance would have been a better fit last year than going into this year as a rookie.
Yeah, I mean he's like essentially a first-year starter anyway. He would have been on a better team as a first-year starter last year. Especially the offense.
And they keep saying like Jimmy's like he just wins, but last year proved that we're winning without him.
Yep.
He would throw 2 picks a game, and our defense would just shut down teams' offenses. Like the Green Bay game and the Minnesota game, they just shut it out. Jimmy threw a pick on the first drive of Minnesota, and it could have messed up the entire game if he kept playing like that.
Yep. I'm flabbergasted. Thanks for calling in, man.
All right.
Later. Matt, is it working now? Can't really hear you. Sorry, Matt. We'll try next time. Guys, that's the show. I got to go. It's been an hour and a half. Thanks for calling in. I'll be back tomorrow with the usual suspects. See you then. Have a great Sunday.